Thank you for staying with us. I-24 News Morning Edition on this December 11, 2015. And what a fabulous Christmassy morning it is, because Ami Kaufman and Tal Shalev, yes, are here. There we go. Ta-da! And you've got the Christmassy bow tie.
It is, right?
It is. It's very Christmassy.
Thank you very much.
And
I'm green. I'm also, that's like a Christmas
it's true,
tree.
very Christmassy. Exactly. I'm the only one drabby in my...
Are we gonna have a mistletoe eventually?
Yes.
And like kiss and...
So Tal and I can kiss,
Right.
finally. I know, exactly. But that
I'm
said...
waiting for that one. I'll take that.
You'll take the selfie. There we go. And I think we're going to be, our ratings are going to shoot through the roof. But the web review, which is the reason we are all gathered here today.
Let's start with Twitter. Some kind of news about Twitter, and I think that it's going to make a lot of Twitterers maybe a bit angry. I don't know. But this week, Twitter confirmed that for a small subset of users of the mobile app, it's testing a version of where the posts are not shown in chronological order.
Okay.
Now this is
That's actually not a bad idea.
That's not now. The reason for this is, I think, because of people like myself.
Right.
And what am I? I think maybe I might compare myself to Tal, for example.
Okay.
Who I think, correct me if I'm wrong, lives on Twitter a lot more than I do. For example, the problem is people like me who do not go into Twitter constantly.
like me.
And
Yeah.
I do not see what's going on. Twitter is a news feed. I do not know what an important tweet is, because every tweet is of equal weight in Twitter.
That's one of the reasons
Now,
I don't go into Twitter that often.
there you go.
Yeah.
As opposed
Big
to
mistake, huge.
as opposed
Yes.
to Facebook, where you kind of know
Yeah.
certain status updates are given more weight because they get a lot of likes. They
Right.
are seen by a lot of people. The Facebook algorithm puts it prominently on your feed. That Twitter does not have that. Twitter is trying to change that. People are saying this might make Twitter into more of a Facebook, which is, I don't know if that's good or if it's bad. Maybe Tal actually has, I don't know, an opinion on
2
this.
cents?
Do you think it should be more?
I think it's a good idea, just because if you're not on Twitter, if you haven't been on Twitter for
Like
a
us,
while,
right.
and then you enter Twitter and you start going through the chronological tweets, then you know what just happened, but you don't know, like, if, for instance, you can miss something very important
Right.
that happened 5 hours ago. So I actually think that's not a bad idea, but it will change Twitter's character and the whole notion
Right.
of Twitter dramatically. So
Dramatically.
it's basically
And can
changing
they begin,
the
yeah.
app.
They have this thing that you see right now. It's called While You Were Away. Apparently,
While You Were
it's
Away?
not.
Yeah.
I guess it's not really working that
I
well.
live
Maybe they
away,
want to.
so that wouldn't catch my eye.
So that's about
But,
Twitter.
Yes.
My favorite. You know, I like food items, right? Okay. Board Panda showing us. I think. Can I call this the best thing since sliced bread?
Oh
is
my
of course
God.
sliced chocolate.
Oh my God.
I think this was actually do really well
Wait,
here in Israel
I think
because
my heart just skipped a beat.
sliced
That
chocolate.
sliced chocolate, that's
Sliced
fabulous.
Isn't
Can
that-
you- and then if you put it in the toaster oven, it can be sliced melted chocolate.
That's a melted one there in a pancake.
Yes.
It looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
Oh, there is a God. Okay, yes, I'm very happy.
I'm very happy too. I think
Very
we're going to start
happy,
using this.
very-
I'm also very happy about this one.
Okay.
Season 2 of Serial is back. I don't know if you heard the first podcast. It's the most popular podcast ever
I heard of
made.
it,
was
yes.
a spin-off of a very popular radio show, This American Life. The last
And
show.
This American Life, I'm a big fan of. Yeah.
Right. And the first season of Serial was hosted by Sarah Koenig. It was about the murder of Hae Min Lee in 1999, who was apparently murdered by her ex-boyfriend Adnan Syed. He is sitting in jail, but things might change because of what Serial did and Serial exposed in the last season. This season is going to be about Bo Bergdahl, the American
Bergdahl.
soldier who walked off his post in 2009, was held by the Taliban for 5 years, and he was freed in this controversial prisoner exchange, which is also being mentioned a lot by Donald Trump, recently, which is
a
a
lot
perfect...
of people who have a life are very happy.
Yes, which is a perfect segue to my next item, which is
Please.
about Donald Trump. From BuzzFeed, as we can see, here's how to delete your Facebook friends who like Donald Trump if you would like to do that. As you can see in the picture on the bottom, it says, go into Facebook. The next, let me show you the next picture.
Yeah.
Is
Step 2.
Go to the search tab. Let's see step 3.
Okay, step 3.
Search my friends who like Donald Trump. Very easy, right? Let's see step 4.
Step 4.
Identify them. Very easy. And step 5, cut that negativity out of your life. You don't have time for that. And the last is most important step, smile.
Can I say something that's going to be really, that people are going to throw stuff at me? Can we have the same thing for Adele? I'm just saying.
Oh, you're okay.
Nice one.
Treading on thin ice there. Yael
Yes,
Lavie.
yes. Okay.
I want to end with something that I want to give a hat tip to Tal Shalev for pointing this story out to me, raising my attention. Netanyahu's dog is apparently not really friendly. He was adopted, is it he or she? I'm not really sure.
She, Kaya.
Kaya.
This is the favorite story of the week by far.
Can I
Forget about Donald Trump.
Can I hand it over to Tal? I think she's going to tell this one
Okay,
better.
well, put the dog up again, please.
There it is.
Yes,
Okay, so that is Kaya. She's a Labrador. She's arrived this year to the Netanyahus, and they have been very, very public about how much they love their new pet. But on Wednesday evening, the Netanyahu's wife, Sarah, hosted a Hanukkah reception with members of the Likud party at her household, and during the reception, Kaya took a bite into two of the guests. One of them is a member of the Likud, and the other one is Tzipi Chotoveli, Deputy FM's husband. And
she bit both of them?
She bit both of them. And this...
I'm sorry, I'm not... Yeah.
According to the Times of Israel, by the way, before the second bite happened to the husband of Tzipi Chotoveli, as he was reaching his hand out to pet Kaya, Bibi said, "Don't touch her, she bites." He didn't hear it in time. And he was bitten.
And then there's this very well-known picture of Netanyahu with Secretary Kerry and Kaya from 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So Kerry basically was saved from the jaws of Kaya.
Wow. Wow, so many things to say. I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep them to
The
myself.
story speaks for itself.
It
That's
does.
what's beautiful about it. You just have to say the headline. Netanyahu's dog bit two of the
Likud
guests.
members, yeah.
You don't need to say
I'm
anything
wondering
else.
if it's used now as, I want this seat, but, I want to give you this seat. If you don't want it, I'm going to sit Kaya at you.
Right.
Well, actually, the young Knesset member who was bitten by the dog, Sharon Askel, nobody knows about her. She just entered the Knesset about a month ago.
Right.
So now, basically, that has been her debut into
Her
the
debut
public
life.
life. And for all of her life, she will be remembered.
As the MK bit by Kaya.
right.
Wow. Yes, the national dog, which is the time to move to the politician's Instagram of this week across the globe, and that's why the lovely Tal Shalev is sitting here with us. Iowa.
Okay, so our first item is about two people that maybe Netanyahu would be happy to see Kaya bite. And that is, of course, the new bromance that we saw at the White House Wednesday, the meeting between Rivlin and Obama. Unfortunately, the president, the Israeli president, doesn't have an Instagram, so we have to go through his Twitter photos.
Okay.
But as we go through them, we can see that basically what sums this meet up is my enemy's enemy is my friend. And just notice, we can continue to scroll through the photos. This photo of the two first ladies, someone mentioned yesterday, we're not used to seeing the Israel-U.S. relationship through such a warm lens. Yeah. It's exactly the lens. It's exactly about the optics of this.
Very true. Right. No, look at this. We can never really imagine this, the back of that being the back of Netanyahu.
No, but of course both Rivlin and Obama are very happy to show off how well they get along. This is definitely something that they are happy to have on their record and exactly say, call up actually Benjamin Netanyahu, see, look what's going on at the White House now. We're actually having fun.
See, we can't get along.
And let's see why they had fun. Let's take a look at
that's the ceremony of the Hanukkah lighting.
One of the guests at the ceremony.
At the ceremony. Okay, let's see the White House Hanukkah.
1, 2, 3. Happy Hanukkah from the White House.
Okay, we're doing this at the end of the show.
That is the well-known Maccabees group singing for the guests at the White House.
What was it? Happy Hanukkah?
By the way, this is just a good time, a suitable time to say I wasn't invited.
I know. I noticed that Tal Shalev was not invited.
I think that's a
I think it's a travesty.
big mistake.
I would destabilize Israeli-American relations yet again just over that.
We're considering it.
It's a diplomatic concern. Completely.
So Netanyahu himself was left by himself here to celebrate Hanukkah by himself. Let's see what he did for Hanukkah from his Instagram page. He has this traditional photo at the Western Wall.
Right.
Very uptight, whatever.
Yeah, prime
and another
ministerial.
photo also with someone who's not supposed to be such a good friend of his, Naftali Bennett, also lighting candles together. I bet that Netanyahu would prefer to light Bennett with that fire and not necessarily the menorah.
Okay, so.
Okay,
yes.
but we're moving to another item. One of our favorites, Vice President Joe Biden. He took a trip to Ukraine this week, and his official photographer, David Leineman, took over his Instagram account, and he kind of did a Pete Souza style. He kind of went beyond the standard official photos and gave a sense of what a vice presidential trip looks on the ground and behind the scenes. So he starts with this photo. This is Air Force 2 at the Andrews Air Force Base. He announces he will be taking over the Instagram account. And then the next photo, actually a very cool photo. The quote is, the caption is, on longer flights, the vice president is often in and out of his cabin. He'll cover a lot of business between now and when he lands, and he is being briefed here by Amos Hochstein, who is the special State Department energy envoy. That's on Air Force 2. Then they arrive at the hotel, and this is a very interesting quote. I think you will also find it familiar.
Okay.
Hotel rooms overseas can always be a surprise. Often when we're traveling, we'll land well after dark. So when you open the drapes in the morning, it's always interesting to see what you'll find. And that's actually an experience that I think many people who travel, what he saw is...
and what he saw,
St. Michael's Cathedral in Kiev. Then another photo. This is, sometimes we do what's called an off-the-record stop. In this case, the vice president stopped at an unofficial memorial to the victims of the Maidan protests, and he's here with the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. Another traditional, this is just like a must Biden photo. You always have a photo of
kid.
So the vice president always
kid.
tries to make time in his schedule to visit the U.S. embassy, so that's what he's doing here. And then when they conclude the trip, very nice photo, Joe Biden himself takes his Instagram account back into his hands and says, Joe Biden here. Folks, we're headed home from Ukraine. It's been a good trip, and I believe this photo sums it up well. He's here with the Speaker of the Ukrainian Parliament, Ukrainian President Poroshenko, and Prime Minister Yatsenyuk. And then his final message, very official and very respectful. I've come to know these men, and I believe that working together, they can create a truly free, democratic Ukraine. Da-dum.
Da-dum, da-da-dum. And not only that, I mean, to me, what was so interesting about this trip, because this is a trip as well as all these pictures taking the stand designed for one man to see. That's Putin.
Exactly.
And showing that here we are, we're standing by the Ukraine. But that said, it's the vice president that went and not the president, which also has meaning. Fascinating, yes.
And just a tidbit that we are expecting Poroshenko ourselves here in Israel later this month. It'll be an interesting visit.
A very interesting visit.
Okay,
yes.
Moving on to two of our favorites, Will and Kate, just to have some royalty here.
And then I have a question about that for you. Yes.
Will and Kate took to the phones on the trading floor this week at a London brokerage firm annual Christmas charity. They actually brought in $540 million in deals. Let's see a video of
Yes,
Kate.
please. Yeah. To be rich and royal and young.
Yeah, but listen, things got a bit tense there. Well, according to one report, Will caught Kate getting a little too flirty on the phone, and he actually told her, Catherine, I think you can stop flirting with them now.
Oh,
they also unleashed their competitive side. They played both ping pong and some basketball. If you can see a video,
No,
two
they
videos
play
of
ping
that.
pong. I want to see the prince playing ping pong.
There you go. Okay, one last round. Yeah, one more. Yeah, okay.
Not really.
Yeah.
We'll skip the basketball game because we want to have time for the one and only. How can we end this show without a Trump video on
Please,
Instagram?
yes.
So Trump's been trolling both Kasich and Bush this week. Let's see what he did about
Let's see what he did.
Kasich.
Okay, Kasich.
Unbelievable! Thank you. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yes.
And another one for Bush. Let's see Bush.
Let's see the Bush one.
He's succeeding right now for sure. He's a gifted politician, but he's a gifted politician. He's just a gifted politician that is appealing to people's anger and frustration that is quite legitimate.
He didn't. He didn't.
You
did
gotta
not.
love this guy.
That-
You know?
Oh my God!
You gotta love his ads, okay? His ads are brilliant, brilliant use of Instagram.
He's got Jeb Bush calling him a gifted politician.
I don't know how we did this segment before Donald Trump exists. Donald Trump exists. Basically, he gives us so much material.
So much more. I know. Wow. That was it for us this morning. Of course.